Let's talk about men and their role in modern marriages. Controversial perhaps, indeed, but a necessary discourse. This chart here I got from the Kaiser Family Foundation as part of an article they wrote on how women balance family, physical health, and life in general. There are some other nuggets in there, including this one. This gender difference extends to working parents as well. 4 in 10 working mothers, or 39%, must take time off and stay home when their children are sick, over 10 times the share of men, which is 3%. Fathers also agree that moms are the leaders of children's healthcare needs, though a substantial share of both mothers and fathers say they share responsibility for these tasks. I've been married twice now. I don't really think I've been a good husband either time, although my definition of good husband and your definition of the term might be different. Actually, that is kind of one major problem we have. I don't think most people have a full understanding of what it means to be a good husband, good wife, good mother, good father, and maybe it kinda is like the Supreme Court and pornography, you know it when you see it. I myself have grappled with these questions for many years. So, the most cynical part of me thinks that the term husband material or husband energy just means quality sperm, because I do think a lot of women just want to become moms, and even with all the challenges that brings, they will feel their life is good and complete and purposeful and whole once they become moms. That's not every woman, no, and I do feel like the number might be declining, but it's still a lot of women. If a dude was a total derp loser and still impregnated you 2 or 3 times, I think most women would take that as a win. I am sure going through infertility for 4 years has colored that for me, but I would still take that bet. A few weeks ago, I had coffee with a friend of mine. He was telling me about his brother. Apparently his brother has 5 kids, goes to work, comes home, has dinner, talks to his kids for a bit, and then goes and plays video games. He doesn't really do laundry or dishwasher or even really bedtime. His wife is apparently okay with all of it. This was their deal. He sired multiple children and she mostly did all the work. He was a paycheck, sperm, and a few periodic interactions in between legends of whatever. This personally makes me sad, but that arrangement works for probably millions of people. We could call this the quiet quitting of marriages, honestly. It's hard to see charts from the Kaiser Family Foundation and not think, what exactly are husbands doing these days? I am not in every living room and bedroom, bow chicka wow wow, in America, but from the observations I see of various friends and acquaintances, it does not appear that husbands do very much these days, and yes, again, I am sure male infertility colors that perspective. I regularly see husbands not know what grades their children are in, which seems like a relatively low bar to clear if you're a dad. This could all be tied to decline of men, although I think the decline of men narrative is overrated. Most guys I know work pretty hard and do want the best for their family, even if they don't contribute a lot domestically, and they're usually very lonely, depressed, potentially a functional alcoholic, looking for something deeper and hoping their mile time somehow improves after age 36. It's tough sledding as a guy these days, but I don't think it's all woe is me either. A few years ago, I saw this therapist for about 10 to 11 months. At the time, I was going through IVF, which failed. I talked to him about IVF waiting rooms and how there are never any guys in there. It seemed to me logically like guys would be there. I mean, if nothing else, they could support their wives, right? My therapist says to me, Ted, they're out earning money. Indeed, maybe they are. Although a lot of IVF appointments take maybe 45 minutes, and I think a boss or clients would understand. But that one sentence speaks so much more than just that one sentence. Is that basically the singular expectation of a dude in 2024? If you look back at that Kaiser chart, the gap on taking care of a sick kid is massive. We definitely have a narrative that women are fairer and caretakers, and I get that. But why is the husband percentage so low? Is it because they can't raise the emotional bar to care for a sick kid? Maybe. Is it because they don't know what to do or where the medicine is located? Perhaps. What's hysterical about this discussion too is that so many guys cancel plans with other guys via sick kids. And yet this chart is saying the guys could probably still go get a beer, except maybe their wife would then withhold sex for about 3 or 4 weeks. I think we've had any number of teetering, meandering discussions about masculinity over the last 10 years. I've written a few things about it too, no doubt, although I am not sure anyone actually listens to anything I say about topics like that. One of the big discourses about masculinity seems to be whether men need purpose or respect. That's a good conversation, and it's interesting to consider both sides, but maybe the real answer here is, a guy needs to learn how to love and care for others in different ways and be a part of a partnership, a marriage, a father, a coworker, a brother, a son, etc., in ways that make sense and lift others up. Maybe that's what masculinity is lacking. It's not about Andrew Tate versus little sissy boy whiner Lynch IV. It's just about guys learning how to do things and raise emotional bars. What's your take?